Hello, I'm Dr. Kat Lowe. I am a researcher and practitioner in the field of arts and health, and I work at the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama. And I wanted to begin by saying thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to sit with and engage and think about these wonderful examples of practice. They are hugely inspiring and offer great hope in our current situation that we're all living through. So thank you. And I wanted to frame my response to these examples of practice with the idea of kindness. Now, Shoshana Magnet and colleagues talk about and consider kindness as part of a pedagogic practice. They discuss kindness in the pedagogy and the politics of care, and they describe kindness as a technology for social transformation. And I find this fascinating because what we've seen in these examples of practice is precisely that. This idea and the implementation of kindness and care in all of the practices. So kindness is a form of care. I'm sure we'll all agree with that. And we see kindness and experience kindness in healthcare. I saw kindness this week in the nurse who held my friend's hand while she was having a scan at the early pregnancy unit. These small moments of kindness are radical and have a huge impact on patients. And for nurses and healthcare professionals, they spend an inordinate amount of time caring. It's part of their job. But often are missing similar acts of care and support. They don't have the space in which to engage with and consider and sit with some of the experiences they've had or had to deal with. More than ever, our NHS staff and healthcare workers need that space and support. In my practice with healthcare workers in South Africa, I'm acutely conscious and aware of the pressures they encounter both at work but also at home, and how they need spaces in which to think about and engage with and respond or debrief to things that have happened on the ward or moments or decisions they've had to make. And this is where theatre and performance and arts practices more broadly can play a really important role in healthcare provision support and training. Theatre and performance in particular offers opportunities for diverse, engaged and embodied experiences, different ways of considering or responding to a situation, and also allows enough space for individuals to follow their own path and own experiences. And we see this most brilliantly illustrated in the examples of practice we've been asked to look at and consider today. Both Careful and Cracks show us how performance can complicate and extend understandings of the nursing experience, but also provide ways in to think about and train and learn new ways of responding to a situation, again through performance. Progress Theatre's work with midwives does very similar work. It provides a conduit for better understanding the challenges that midwives face and a means through which that midwives are able to develop key skills and have thought through how to respond in particularly challenging situations. But it's also a space and a conduit through which midwives can see and be heard and see that their own lived experience is recognised. And that is an act of care and kindness and reciprocity, which to my mind is vital in any form of arts and health and healthcare provision training. Finally, handover choreography is a great example of the importance of having a different space through which to examine and consider caring practices. It allows us to think about how performance can push us to think and consider a wider understanding of movement and that impact on clinicians' engagement. Specifically, it's an example of how performance works leads to better clinical practices and an opportunity also to extend performance research. Handover choreography, Cracks are both examples of ways of informing performance work and to extend our understanding of how performance can work and engage with different types of groups of people. The arts have a key and vital role in healthcare training and development. The practices we've looked at today serve to underline that with huge exclamation marks. But also they demonstrate the role and the act of care and kindness in terms of creating spaces in which healthcare professionals can find solidarity and space for themselves. And this is also fundamental.